Well, hello everyone. Welcome to day 3 of Sean's Little Check-ins. I figured I'd start here at home during lunch hour before I go in the afternoon to my office shortly after this. I hope everyone's doing okay towards the end of this first full week of pandemic pandemonium here in the US and of course around the world. At least here in Massachusetts, for me, Friday today is the end of the first full week of pandemic pandemonium for myself and others of us here, and pretty much probably across the country. Although I don't know when lockdown started in San Francisco that I've heard has been happening there. We're not at that level yet here of restrictions in Massachusetts, but I won't be surprised if we get to that point. So I have been thinking in terms of other ways I've and others have been affected by this whole change into a new normal, as I've said before. Yesterday I talked about routines. Today what I want to touch upon is big obvious ways of change that have happened for me, and I'm sure for others, in terms of how we go about conducting our work and interacting with others. A real obvious way for me that that's been the case is I've gone from in-person meetings with clients to now all telemedicine, remote or virtual as it's called. And it's been very different. Interestingly though, in some good ways. At first it felt like just an odd inconvenience that I'm not here face-to-face in person with people. It's more impersonal. That was an initial reaction for me, but it did shift over to appreciating seeing people in their own homes, the personability and intimacy of that, and how they're letting me into their own homes by watching me on screen and allowing me to see them in some room in their own house, and therefore opening up their lives more to me in ways I just didn't really have access to. There's nothing like seeing someone in their own home. That is, that's very revealing and powerful, and it really is able to open up work between us in some unexpected ways, and I've really appreciated that. So that would be kind of a very wonderful silver lining that's come through in all of this in relation to my work and also in relation to interacting with people. And interestingly, it feels also too like work and personal life have started to just naturally overlap more because of all this now interaction online with people, whether it be with my clients, which is obviously work interactions, or personal interactions with friends, around the world, across the country, and what have you. It's been fascinating to notice this more seamless feeling of overlap, the way I'm online now, in this more continuous and yet different ways with people, friends and clients alike. I'm appreciating the integrated feeling and experience of that. That's been really interesting to notice, particularly since I'm either inside, more like we all are, at home or in my office. And now it feels like when I drive in my car, I'm kind of driving in a little spaceship between home base and office base. And the rest of, because those are the two main bases for me. And I know for many people, many of you who are working remotely at home now, it's like home and work are all overlapped at home. And I'd be interested to hear how that is for folks. I am reflecting, though, too, on how fortunate I am that I have this transition. I'm able to to do and still work and be sustained because of telemedicine option. I know other people out there, such as in the, the service industries at restaurants or movie theaters, what have you, have not had that option. And I'm really thinking about them and wondering, how they're going to do, given that, some of them, according to their work status, are going to qualify for unemployment. Others, if they're 1099 people, such as myself, and they don't have an unemployment option, I do wonder what's going to happen for them. So, that's on my mind a lot, and I'm not dwelling on it, but I'm being cognizant of it and wondering as these days and weeks and months go on, because this is going to last for months. I expect that to be the case. I'm wondering how I'm going to be more of help, if possible, for others in those difficult situations. And I have to be honest, I'm not certain yet. I think that's the case, I'm sure, for a lot of us, if not everyone, that, we're not sure yet how else we're going to engage in the world and help our fellow folks. If that's, anything that's on any of your minds, and maybe some of you are creatively already doing that. Maybe it'll be, delivering groceries to people if grocery delivery options are overloaded, for example, because I'm sure there's a lot of high demand for different companies that do provide grocery delivery. They're probably so overloaded that, it may be coming down to other people voluntarily in the community helping. So, that's just something off the top of my mind. I'm just thinking aloud here. But, again, it's just how to continue to be more and more integrated and connected with people in this new normal, where we feel a sense of togetherness, not only remotely and through the internet, but also in the community, where we're helping folks that in normal times, previously normal times, wouldn't have needed our help. But now it's going to come down to more and more folks just around us are going to need our help. So I'm really aware of that, and I'm just open to figuring out what's going to work for me to help others more explicitly, in addition to what I'm already doing professionally. So those are my thoughts there. I'm open to other people's thoughts around this, how they're doing with all this change, what they've noticed that's positive too around the ways they work differently and interact differently with people, and maybe what they're thinking of and looking forward to in the future as this crisis unfolds over to months now that will eventually happen. We're still in the days and weeks place with it, so it's still early on, but I know that we're in for the long run here. And I'm thinking of all of you and appreciating those who are coming on and checking in and watching this, and just enjoying thinking of you all, and being listened to and watched here, and just kind of taking it one day at a time. That's all we can really do. Take care, everyone, and I'll check in probably next week. I may give the weekend off from doing this. Take good care.